Hi and welcome to SQL Injection Master Course. My name is Hitesh and below is my web homepage where you can access my website, can access Learn from Hitesh section and can reduce lots of third-party resource prices from all of my courses. So definitely this is a really important talk, that's why I always do in the very start of my lecture. So let us start with this lecture and try to learn some more commands that would be really helpful for you to inject in some of the other application. Now, I personally like this idea, first of all, running all the things on the command prompt with the MySQL so that you can learn the syntax of what we are actually performing instead of just mugging out the things and just putting them on the web application. Of course, reading out the source code is an important part of this exercise according to me for all the SQL injection. That's why I'm giving you all the files for the SQL injection, not like some other courses where you just have the access of lab. So I definitely could have put all these videos in some of my website, got some hits from you, could have raised my SEO as well, but definitely I expect that you automatically are going to visit my homepage and that would be just a Thanksgiving for me. So let us start this video and let's move back to our what we have here. And let me first of all jump into the SQL backtrack instance, and first of all I have to start as always my Apache 2 start, and please also start my SQL. I hope it's a bit more visible, and I think that it is far more clear than anything else. So what you can do out here is very simple. First of all, let us start MySQL with a username of root and of course the password 2. Okay, so MySQL prompt is running. Now I would like to introduce a couple of new functions, or you can say commands of MySQL that would be really helpful for you since we are focusing now on the time-based SQL injection. Now first of all, what is time-based SQL injection? In some of the queries you don't actually get any output in the form of errors by hitting a single quote, backslash or anything like that. You always get some message that is always out there, whether you put a 1 there, whether you put 1,000 there or anything like that. So that application might be, again I'm using a word might be, vulnerable to the SQL application vulnerable attack. So for that, at some point of instance we can use this time-based SQL injection. Of course this exercise file would be there for you so that you can learn more about these types of injections and can actually evade with that or can use for pen testing purpose. So first of all the command is select, and I would like to use this command now, sleep. Now sleep is a really good important command for the time-based SQL injection, and let's say if I do a sleep 10, so you are now seeing that cursor is only blinking and nothing is happening actually on my SQL command prompt. So as the 10 seconds will pass on, I know it's a big time and I'm just waiting for it. So after 10 seconds it gives me that hey, you have run this command. So this is really important for the time-based SQL injection. Now if we put this command in such a manner that you can use somehow the if clause with it, then really things can get interesting for us, because if has a simple clause that we'll program it in such a manner that if the condition is true, the cursor will only blink at that moment. That means the cursor is going to not respond for a few seconds, and eventually in the application it will just load up and load up the things. So I hope you got the point what we are trying to do. So let us do a select, and let me put a if here, and I would like to have some things here. Let's say for example in the bracket I would like to have select, and let me put a database here. Just as always, we always put a database here, and what we would like to have the database, let's have some things in it. So let me give it security. I know this is the database, I'm just taking some leverage you can say. So the if clause actually takes the 3 argument. So the condition is true and I would like to have a sleep for 10 seconds. Let's say for example sleep 10 is good, and the third is nothing actually, so I will just write null here. You can also write something else here, but in the meantime I would just put a null here. I hope I have matched all the brackets. This is really the thing I have been doing quite a lot in the previous videos, so I think yes, I have matched that. So you will see that instantly it has returned us the database, and what we can do out here that the things can be modified further by the database query. We can modify it to the you can say version or anything like that. So first of all, let me check what is out there. Okay, so we are putting security here, and then we are putting a sleep 10, and finally the null character. So that's pretty much okay for us with right now. Let me move it at the top. Okay, so we are having a if clause here, and it is after that we are selecting the database value from it, and then we have got the value of the database, that is security, and make it a sleep for 10, and then just return it. Now what happened if I by mistake got a thing from it? So again, it shouldn't have done in this way. Again, like in the previous video, I have made some mess around here. So let me just check out first of all if I haven't done any typo. So select if, then a bracket start for select database is a function. Yes, of course, it's a function, closing the bracket, equals to security. Yes, it is our database, and then putting up a comma, sleep, that is the second function, and then the null, and putting it up. So I think things are working, but somehow it is not. So let me put up another query to just verify if we are thinking in the right direction. Version, and in place of these things I have to put something else, like let's say equal to is not a good. So we can, what we can do, we can put a like here. Is the database somewhat like, you can say 5, and of course I have to use a %sign. So now you can see the database is actually blinking. So equal to is not working for us in this case. In this case, what is working for us is 5, or you can say like. So database is like. One more thing, interestingly, I find out that in the previous video I've asked you one simple question, that was, hey, why that in the previous video, why that Boolean injection is not working for if I'm putting up a database name equals to 5 or 6 or maybe 4 or 3. So the simple answer could be the reason why it is happening is because we are just putting a decimal value over there and not the ASCII value. Now yes, I can understand you might be laughing out there that hey, this was pretty easy, as the terminal was expecting the ASCII value and we were putting out the decimal value. How it can be correct? So that's one command that we can have, is version like %5. Now what I can do here, in order to find out the name here, so let me do that by just removing the core query, that is version. I would remove this version. Instead I would like to put a substring substr, and in that function I would like to put up table underscore name, and I would put, again, substring requires two things, that is 1, 1. I would like to start from 1 and I would like to end from 1. And after that, what I can do simply here is I can actually make it let's say complete the query from information underscore schema dot tables. Of course, don't forget to put your where clause, because it's the only thing that is going to end up the things. So table underscore schema dot information underscore schema dot tables, where table underscore schema equals to database. Okay, and of course, since it will return too many rows, I don't want to make a mess again in this video. I know I have been doing a lots of mess, but really this is the way how we hacker things, do a lots of enumeration and everything. It's not like that every time I'm going to be perfect in that. Of course, I'm making quite a mistake around and doing some things like that, but really doesn't matters. And what I can do here, after limit that, I can put some equals value. Hope equals to work for me this time, and I'm really expecting. Now let me put up two single quotes here. Perhaps the double quote is not being taken by, so these things happens quite a lot with the databases. and let me delete that everything else. So I know that my table name from the first table in my database is actually email, so that's why I'm putting a E here. Now what will happen if the query is perfectly right? The database will, the command prompt will wait for a few seconds, that is the 10-second sleep it will went, and if it is not correct, then it will automatically jump. So that's how we actually iterate ourselves in the time-based injection. So it has immediately repeated it. So definitely we have done some wrong things here in the query. So let me fix that up quickly. Equals to database, limit is 0,1, and it is equals to E. Again, things are not working here. Sleep 10 null, that's perfectly fine. I think the equals function is not working like this manner. Let me again try. Again, so it's not working. Perhaps I'm mistaking out here. So this time I really want to solve what is happening with my typing. So let me get a couple of things here. So select substring table underscore name 1,1 from information underscore schema dot tables, information underscore schema dot tables, where table underscore schema equals to database. So let's say if database is not working, perhaps let me put a security here. I really want to make things working. So that was the reason actually. It was not selecting the database automatically. I have to put in the database. Really, that was a huge thing for me. So I hope you also expect me to be perfectly fine at one place in just a one go, but definitely it's not going to do like that. So, and if I do a E here instead, let's say put H, as my name starts with a H, it's automatically going to return everything for me. And in that case, if I do again, let's say E, and I know the second thing is M, that is emails, and what I can do here is I can put up 2 here, and again it's waiting for me, not just blinking out everything. So the same thing is actually, I hope you got the basic code syntax, how you can find out the table name, the database, the versions and everything out there with the time-based SQL injection. So that's the core logic behind it, and without making our video too much longer, I would like to end up with so many mistakes. I really apologize for that, but definitely we have learned a lot. Thank you so much for watching.